Yeah.
Good thing.
We all can be mortals, capable of mistakes. The journey's not here to be agonized upon.
Welcome back. Mia, Mortal Lights 2, an edition of Monthly Goals. Now, Monthly Goals is a chance for myself, Kyrin,
Here, Kyrin here.
and Kyrin here. We're all into all sorts of folks. If you have been tuning in the live, which we do these live as well, we've been playing around with some tech difficulties. They exist, folks. That's honestly more and more the reason we called Me Immortals is because shit like this happens all the time.
It's because we need It's because we need an easy out. That's why.
We need an easy out to not talk about this. Maybe our monthly goals were so terrible that the world's trying to tell us, like, hey, don't even talk about it. And honestly, my March, so at the moment we're looking ahead at the April goals, but we're going to look back at the March goals as well. My March goals, dude, and we'll get into it, wasn't that fantastic.
Bummer.
There was some good stuff in there in the broadness of March, lots of things. But when I actually look back at my monthly goals, and I think I need to do almost a reassessment of some of these things. I put down content creation back into the swing of things. Olympic training plan begins. And so if I look at it from a top level view, dude, I achieved it for the most part. I'm pretty happy with that. But if I look at the specific goals, I had 6, right? And here we go. One of them was implementing the living proof challenge. Dude, I looked at it. I looked at it like twice, and no implementation was done. Can I say that like there was a couple of things that I did as part of it? Yeah, well, interestingly enough, the living proof challenge, if you want to go and check that out, go do so, get the detail. It actually encourages having more plant protein. I did the opposite. I had more meat protein, and I almost went not carnivore, but I was just eating more meats, more fats than I was carbohydrates.
Bad one.
Yeah, although on those days, dude, I felt really good. I felt really good about it. In fact, today I'll give you a little insight for folks. Trained this morning, ran, had a good recovery sort of protocol in the morning, had a protein shake. Then for lunch, I had 3 pork chops and an egg. And then I didn't eat like a dinner, which was chicken wings and a little bit of salad and pasta until tonight. So not a whole host of other things apart from like meat. But in any case, implementing the living proof challenge, no, not at all. Didn't even track shit. So nothing. The beginning the Olympic lifting split, yes, I did. That was pretty awesome. I've moved, and I think it's only going to be temporarily. I won't talk about it too much, but temporarily I moved from my existing gym to a new gym. I'll incorporate a bit of piece on the next goals, and I'll talk about it there. But I've moved to do the Olympic lifting, dude, and I almost quit doing it. You know about it, but I'll share it with the team here at the Mere Mortal Lights a little bit later. The 2 mind items, and by the way, that one, yep. The 2 mind items, so I'll go with the one that went the best. Confirming the next steps for the business structure. Yes, there was a lot of confirmations. There was a lot of plans to do something and a lot of energy invested into going down a particular path that we didn't do. However, it helped set up a lot of structures in place. Again, I know Kyrin loves this sort of shit, but I cannot tell you the amount of hours I have spent on accounting details and number details, dude. Ridiculous. Loves it. But then the most terrible one, renewed effort for the French book.
No, man.
Zero.
I think we already knew this, yeah.
Yep, but you're going to see there's going to be some definite action on the next monthly goals. So check out that in a moment. And then the other 2, this one was really good. No online news consumptions of AFR, local sites, news aside from what I see on the socials. I almost broke once, just by the default nature of, type that in and just look at it. But I'm really happy to say, dude, I didn't do a single search for news site. The only time that I saw news was either social media popping up or on phone. If you scroll to the side on an iPhone, it gives you just a default view of things. But it's very top level news, right? And I'm not actually clicking into it. So it's like seeing a few headlines. That noticeable difference on saving of time and the mindset in that I thought I'd be like, oh man, I'm not keeping up to date, I'm not seeing the latest. It sort of tended to be when there was things that I needed to know about, it would just kind of fall into my place anyway, so people would talk about it. So honestly, moving forward, I think I will shift mindset to not doing it all the time. We'll see. But I enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed not going to it. I think it's enough of a habit now that it's not every morning that I want to go and check all the news sites. And dude, I was checking China news today, Russian news today, Australian news, everything. And lastly, this one I'm ticking off as well, although it was kind of easy. It was just treating it as much as sanely possible people as if they were the younger kid self. It was 5, especially because it was when people were acting in a negative manner. And I didn't come across too many people acting in a negative manner this whole month. So there wasn't any real opportunities where I think there wasn't a case where I broke and I was like, oh no, I'm really like angry at this person or whatever. Didn't really happen. So that was kind of fine. So those were the 6 monthly goals. Again, as a bit of summary for March for myself.
I really hope to see another monthly goal of use some proper grammar, because that last one is just awful. Just reading that.
Yeah. I've got to tell you,
treat
folks,
as
I
much
write
as
this
sanely possible people as if they were their younger self, their younger kid self, when it comes to acting in a negative manner. That is just all over the shop. That is awful.
Now I must admit, there's two possibilities, although I can't remember. One, for a lot of these now, because I use Excel to track my things, I do voice to text for a lot of my note taking. Although 2, it's usually my typing, and I just typing on the phone, and I can just sometimes just put in random text in there, and I just don't care. I just like save it as long as the concept is there.
I'd say about once every 2 months, one writes something to me where I need clarification because it makes no sense. This is a big thing.
Those are the March goals. So no grammar checks just yet for April.
Well, thanks so
much. What about you?
Yeah. So this is one of those months where I wasn't really watching the actual goals. I think I maybe went to them twice, if 3 times, if that, to actually recheck like, oh, what am I meant to be doing this month? Because I kind of just knew essentially what I was doing. So finished reading the Roosh V forum post. No, I've probably got 25 tabs still open. I mean, it's a full forum, so there's the good thing with that is I did read a lot. I probably spent I'd say at least 5 hours reading forum posts. But there's just a lot in there, which some which is funny, some which is actually useful, a lot which is just crap. And I was just going through this, and I'm like, yeah, no, there's still worth stuff going through here to just get some actionable, solid advice in terms of game, lifestyle, all that sort of stuff. Try and be as present as possible for all events. I think I did that reasonably well. I went out a lot. I watched my brother play soccer. I took Butters out. I had friends, parties type things going on. Yeah, I had a lot going on, and I did that. Have a real crack at hosting our own feed. In a way, this was solved by not doing it. So I'm actually planning around this time tomorrow. I will have moved over the Mere Mortals feed. So that's my plan with that.
Is there any changes that we need to do with any pending posts and stuff like that?
Maybe. If so, I'll let you know about that. Okay. Yeah,
because there's one going out this Sunday.
Yeah, so, correct. Yeah. If not, I'll just recopy and do it. But yeah, that should be fine. Monitor the hamstring. Just
quickly, while we're in it, I don't want to drop you off, but do we have a limitation on that particular one with the movement of the audio size?
No. Barry said it should all just be fine. So
Barry, thank you, sir.
We'll find out. Yeah. So if things go wrong with our feed,
that's why.
Yeah, essentially. Yep. So monitor the hamstring and make some smart decisions. I think I have done that. I was able to do a full splits workout yesterday, and I didn't have to really hold back at all. So I think I did some good kind of prehab, just letting it rest, prehab, rehab, and yeah, that seems to have mostly sorted itself out now. So I'll give myself a good one for that. Introduce more Portuguese into my consumption. Didn't do that.
You didn't do that?
No. I've still just been like consuming the regular shows that I'm into and things like that. So yeah, haven't really done that. Create and finish a travel prep list. Yeah, pretty good with that. I've got most of the things that I need. The only things I need to buy now are some Tim Tams. That's the only. And I was going to do that yesterday, but it was like $5 a pack, man. I just went, I can't even justify this. They need to be on special or on sale or something.
Would you go down the path of buying the fake Tim Tams from Aldi, which are $2.12 or something like that?
Nah. They need to be real stuff. Yeah. Nah, none of that. So yeah, that's all pretty good, man. There's obviously there's still some things I need to do. I have started packing if I could flip the camera over, I would, but this desk, it's kind of like to pack, you need to unpack everything because I'm also vacating the place here. So everything I'm moving out, like all the clothes that I'm not using as well and things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's just going to be chaos over here for the next week, I guess. Say more interesting things, more truthful as well. Kinda wasn't really on my mind, so no, I'll give myself a no for that. Finish Portuguese Duolingo. What do you reckon, Juan? How am I going? There's 4 days left of this month.
No.
Nah, I'm not even close. And that's not for lack of trying, because I have
Okay.
I pretty much finished everything in terms of the actual courses that you can do up until about midway through this month. And then a week and a bit ago, I got the free Super Duolingo, and I'm it's careful, got to be risky. We know what can happen with free Super Duolingo.
Absolutely.
And for those who don't know, one got kind of not scammed into it, but he ended up paying.
He got duped into buying the annual one.
Exactly. Yeah, and a full year's worth as
Still
well.
have it.
Yep. So I have been doing, I reckon, a solid hour and a half a day since then, and I'll be able to finish. I've already finished like section 1, section 2. I'll be able to finish, and section 4. But section 3, I reckon, to finish all of that off to the legendary, I'd probably have to put in another 15 hours, and it's the hard stuff as well. It's like, I hope that if you were coming, I would have been able to stop eating. That
Wow,
that
okay.
kind of subjunctive. It's that level where you're like, okay, I know the first section. I could maybe kind of get the second and third, and it's like, oh yeah, Tina still yeah. It's hard as well, and that's the stuff where you can't just breeze through it. You have to stop and think. So,
yeah, and it's actually you can't just sit down and do 15 hours of that, and like you'll just smoke your brain.
Yeah, exactly. So I will finish off the sections 2 and 4, stop the Duolingo, super, and then probably over the next month or two, I'll because it's still useful to just get into the habit, to the mood of doing it. So what I'm thinking is like I'll use that as like when I'm in Brazil, I'll click the button, do 15 minutes worth. That'll kind of just get me into the Portuguese learning, and then I'll study with the actual actual books and the actual real deep kind of work. So yeah,
nice. Okay.
Productive-ish month, not too much in terms of the goals, but I feel like
a lot of other things done. Yeah, mine was
Yeah.
similar. Like a lot of things got done, maybe not supremely being reflected. Like March I got those 2 like pretty huge conversations done and like interviewed and edited and stuff like that, which takes a freaking lot of time and prep and whatnot. So they were really enjoyable, but they didn't even get listed out on here, right? So yeah, lots of stuff got done, just probably not highlighted in the goals per se. And I think it's because I just don't directly map it sometimes to any annual goals for now. It's just now the extras just have built up on top of it. So it is what it is.
For sure.
Cool. Anything in terms of comments for supporters or anything like that, Kyrin?
Yeah, no. So I'll do the wrap up of that in a couple of days' time once we're done.
Okay.
Yeah, just the value for value shows the one that's kind of like bringing in the bucks at the moment. If you want to look at it as pure monetary, how close would we be to topping over 0.1 Bitcoin in total? We'd be pretty close, I reckon, in terms of total support that's come through. I'm not sure what the last number was. Should quickly check that up now. But yeah, people still doing it. Value for value is still kind of growing, and the podcast apps are still maturing. True fans, I go on there and I see the amount of new people kind of joining each day or following and that sort of thing, and it's like, oh yeah, this stuff is it's ticking. We'll
growing.
Yeah, we probably won't top into a full 0.1 Bitcoin, i.e., 10 million satoshis, but we won't be too far away. Maybe the quarter after that we'll reach it.
Okay. And look, I think this is going to be similar to, I know we've both, I think, listened to that Chris Williamson episode of, the 3.5 years or the 4 years, it comes up, and then all of a sudden, once things start really taking off, a whole month is better than the last 4 years, and then the next month even better than, I think similarly with Valley for Valley, right? It's going to be one of those where when it does hit that point, and again, I think we have varying views on when that is, but when it does, it's just going to make the rest of the time feel like, okay, well, that was child's play. But again, it's the effort that we're putting in now and the support of people who are doing it now that help us continue until that point, comes, that crucible of, okay, off we go into the journey of E4V, and people kind of start utilizing that more and more.
Yeah, I definitely see in 5-10 years time being just one of those old fogies going like, I remember that guy, that name's familiar, he was there back in the day, that sort of thing. I'm looking forward to that because I think it's going to
being called an OG.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, let's have a look at
give me your April goals. Give me your April, mate.
Okay. So April, I have 6 goals once again. Yes, it is a little bit low, but I need it definitely for this month. So the goal at a top level, I'm tripling down on book reviews. And I'm making Mere Mortals work while you're on the road and training. Now, it's interesting I said that because I don't even have the specific goal written down here, but I'll amalgamate it into the one goal. So 6, I've got 1 for the body, and that's carry out the recovery protocols at the gym. So this is an aspect of, I kind of realized, hey, at the very least, when it comes to, what I was trying to do in the past with setting the right goals and methods and what I'm doing, I'm at this new gym at the moment, which I'm not going to be there for a long time, I don't think. I moved away from my current gym that I was into this place just to try it out. A couple of different things were going on. And first of all, while it's good, I'm going to say it's very clinical, and I hate clinical. Like, I want it to be dingy and a bit dark and a bit dirty and a bit hardcore, right? That's like the energy that I want.
Yeah.
It was just too clinical, right? But one of the cool things that it does have is a lot of recovery stuff. Think cold plunges, saunas, spas, massage guns. And so for me, it's going to be carrying out the various recovery protocols of the gym that I'm kind of going to be listing down. So doing, cold plunge 3 times a week, and the massage guns and the spa and the snow room or whatever it may be, to kind of get an idea by the end of the month what's actually effective for myself and what isn't. Because, and I'm very much this, and I think most people who know me can attest to it, Mere Model Lights, I'm normally in my mind, I'll be like, oh, cool. Like, I'll just go all in. I'll be like, okay, cool. I've just got to buy a spa and buy a cold plunge and I'll buy the massage gun and I'll buy XYZ because this is the things that's able to done. But all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it isn't. So this is giving me the ability to, hey, let me just taste a bit of everything, and then I'll report back on myself and go, okay, what do I really want? And then go back to operating in like that fun environment that I want to, with maybe these additional bonuses. So that's that. I called this one, Just Read the Damn Book.
Just do it.
Now, obviously, yes, folks, this applies to my French one, but I'm going to expand it. So in my actual like little notes that I have extra that you don't normally see, it says, no more Mr. Nice Guy. Just do the best type of note taking I can. Just read the book and figure out the words as I go. So what I'm finding is, for whatever reason, I'm stopping myself from reading the book, the French book, in that I'm like, oh no, I need to have set amount of time and sit down and take the notes and do the translation. I was doing it for a little while. That time doesn't exist for me anymore. It just doesn't. Either it would have to be done pre-4 in the morning before I take off for the day,
Easy.
or it would have to be done 9 p.m. and I would have to sacrifice good time with my partner. Like, that would be it. And I'm not willing to give up either of those. So I found, okay, well, I would probably introduce reading it, but not taking the notes like I've been in the past. Not that like level of, I've got to like shift into gears to do this note taking. So I'm going to move into just reading the damn book, opening it up, trying to read. If I find a word that I just don't know, Google it. That's what it is. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Okay, and keep going. I might try and keep the note taking, but for now I'm going to go just try and continue reading it, whatever it takes, just to proceed with it. But I'm going to apply it to other books. And the reason I say that is I started another book. I was talking when you were off, Kyrin, Be Useful by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd read about 4 or 5 pages. And dude, you know me, I read pretty slowly. That book has 260 odd pages. And I recently went down to a flight to go see Joseph, a friend. And on the way there, I didn't take my headphones. In fact, I didn't have headphones. I got these headphones while I was down there, but I didn't have headphones. So I finished that book on the way there. And I went, oh,
There you go. You can do it.
man, I need to do this sort of thing, man. So it's more about just reading the damn books. It's just reading the damn books, especially going into April. Kyrin's obviously going to be traveling. I was saying that I've got, already a book review sort of out that's going to be available at the start of April, but there's going to be a big focus on, hey, I can get through quite a few more books. I've got a lot now in the backlog, just in the library setup that I just want to read, and yeah, just got to put more time to it. So that's what that's going to be. Simple but hard. Doing my quarterly BAS and calculating some numbers for the business. Again, this is just like dry, folks. You know when you enter dry, right? You got no lube, no nothing. That's a quarterly BAS.
So pineappling.
Pineappling, just straight in. I want to review. This is going to automation. Reviewing my food automation potential. What does that mean? Folks at home are asking. Yes, well, that means groceries or other products. There's not a lot, but there is a level of mental effort that I have to go every week when I go to the shops and go to a particular shop and go, okay, do we need to get this? I need to get that. I need to get this. I need to get that. Now I have a daughter. Again, you got to be like, okay, cool. You need berries. You need apples. You need this. You need to make this meal. So, one more person, it just adds that extra complexity. Not that it's much, but honestly, that's probably the one aspect of my life that I can be totally fine with just being like, cool, just automate a lot of it. And what I mean by that is fruit boxes or better delivered meat or just pre-planning all the payments of the groceries that I go to locally and just getting them all and just shifting it here and there. Very easy. I just never really put any time together for it. And I go, that's probably the one that I like every week comes by on a Sunday or a Saturday and I go, gotta go shopping. What do we get? What do we got to make? That'll just simplify things. And now for Kyrin, that's very simple because he's a very, very protocol level, if you'd like, type of eating. So not to that level, but I think it's just more automated in what I like the core things, the core essential things that I just need to get on a day in, day out basis.
Yeah. For those who don't know, my fridge is like, I know everything that's in there is getting eaten and I can tell you when it's getting eaten. That's kind of how I operate in terms of food. Yep. So I don't buy, I might need this. This could come in handy. This could get eaten. Or I'd like to have that at some point. That's definitely not how I roll.
Whereas, for the parents at home who are listening to this, you'll know this very well. Day to day, your kid might change in terms of they like the blackberries on the Monday, hate them on the Wednesday. Go get a new product.
No discipline. Lack of discipline over here. Lack of discipline in Juan. Lack of discipline in Vienna. Shows that Juan has no discipline either. Like daughter, exactly. Like father.
Exactly. Now, it will be interesting to hear in the future how Kyrin describes this in his kids as well. But we'll see when reality comes and meets you in person. Now, the last two goals for Soul. One is removing the unnecessary time on others who are not key relationships, physical and digital. Now, this is principally more so digital than it is physical because there's not a lot of physical things that I'm finding day to day where I'm overspending time, more so in the digital. So again, what does that mean? That can apply to just looking at stories on Instagram or just scrolling through on a particular reel or something to that effect. It is, unless it's like a key player or a key relationship in my life, reducing the amount of time that I'm spending or putting effort towards it.
Do you still text random people kind of like you used to? I remember we're discussing we're discussing text communication once and I was just saying, for me it's almost essentially logistical to the extreme. If you're talking to me, there's got to be a reason for it, not just general idle chit chat, which I hate doing via text. Whereas you were the exact opposite. You were talking to guys and girls who you maybe met once 3 years ago or something. And it's like,
and what I mean also by that is I still enjoy doing that. So if I was to go, it's mostly through socials now. I still have some couple of people who I'm messaging and I'm talking back and forth on a day-to-day basis, maybe once a week type of deal, because they're like the right relationships, they're the right key people, they're the people that I want to kind of like feed off their energy, and maybe it's kind of mutual sort of beneficial senses of it. That for sure, I want to continue. What I don't is, I'll give you an example. There's a thing on Instagram at the moment where you can be added to like their broadcasting rooms, and just by default, I've been accepting a lot of them. I don't know why I've just been defaulting accepting it, but one of them was one of the Formula One drivers for the F1 Academy in the McLarens. And now she posts heaps of stuff every day, like random comments. And for whatever reason, I'm just like, it makes me open the phone, check it, look at it. Again, 5 seconds every time. But I kind of like assessed it after a day, and I was like, man, I'm just like wasting time looking at it. Like, I'm not going to like, again, you can't even respond, but it's like, it's kind of like unnecessary information. And it's also not any kind of key relationship I should be like investing any of knowledge of what's going on. Like, sure, they can do their thing, but those little things, they can chew up a lot of time. So that's going to be the next piece. And then the last one is plan my big fun dream and tell no one but my family. So there is this idea, a big fun dream that I've circulated the idea to a couple of people. There's a particular business venture that started. We've paused it, but that gave me some insight into something else that I want to do. And this is going to the annual goal of deeds over words. So I kind of wanted to note it down and being like, yep, there's a particular idea. In fact, so much of a powerful idea that I made a little note that I need to update my eminent human being, like my top level, highest level assessment of what I see of like my life and whatnot, that I want to almost include it in there. Maybe not exactly, but in some format. And yeah, it'll be something that it's a pretty major addition, but it'll be thinking of the idea, thinking of what that idea actually looks like. And I've only found, to my knowledge, one other one of these in the world, this particular idea. And I'm fairly certain the particular individual who did it he's a billionaire, and he just must do it either for fun or through his company for like fun stuff. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a commercial thing, and maybe it's like a wild dream, but I think I'll tell you guys offline at next Wednesday, but I won't talk about it on the podcast itself. And then, but it'll be very close people that have this idea, because it's pretty wild.
So mysterious. So
it is
mysterious.
But I have to, and the reason I wanted to say it is because I want to hold myself to it. That's going to be deeds over words. So I'm telling people something there, but I'm not going to talk about it. And I wanted to like put myself out there. If you hear me, Kyrin, talking about this in person somewhere out there and be like, oh yeah, this is what I'm planning, I think you got to call me out and be like, no,
sure. Yep.
Can't do that.
I can do that.
So that's the goals. That's the goals for April.
Oh, nice, man. Sounds you got some good stuff going on. All right. I hinted at this last time, but I just said, I'm not really going to have any for this month in terms of strict, concrete, actionable type things. The only thing I've really written down here was allow myself to be optimistic, flirty, happy, and playful. The past 7 months have been pretty shit, to be honest, and I've been a very serious person those last 7 months. So, combining and look, there's still going to be, and this is mostly just related to my mom's health. There's still going to be a whole lot of pain, suffering, all that sort of bad stuff for the foreseeable future. And I think, traveling as part of I guess I'm just trying to get myself out of a slump, I guess, in a certain sense. So travel is going to be part of that. Seeing my friend Lucas, who's just a very happy, fun, flirty, optimistic, playful type of person, that'll help. And yeah, just really, really trying to, I suppose, live life and enjoy life rather than just let it go past, because it's kind of just been going past me the past while. So that's my goals for something to do.
Good. Okay. And again, look, we will note this in that Kyrin will be heading off to Brazil overseas. And one of the big key things in going into this month will be, and I'm calling it out here rather than the normal sort of mere mortals musings, is it'll be slightly different. We've got to work out timings. We've got to work out how the video quality will be. If you're here right at the beginning of this particular podcast, some things messed up. Be prepared for more things to be messed up. Right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be worse.
that's just going to be the default, right? You got to expect change. That's the only thing that is constant. It's change.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So I can't understand that, man. The monthly goal should just be about, for you, I think, being open. I mean, you don't even know what to expect realistically. So
yeah, just coming in, I'm not going to be as nervous as I was when I first traveled in 2018. So it's going to have a different feel to it. Going to a similar place, Latin America, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. But it's not the huge, impactful, life-changing feeling that it did have in 2018. This one's more just like, you know what, I'm gonna view this as more of a holiday type deal.
I think it's more of a release valve, to be honest.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like to me, like a little bit of a release valve for you.
For sure, correct. And speaking of release valves, Juan, how's your penis? No, I'm joking. No, how's your fitness going for this month?
So I'll talk about it on the Olympic lifting, right? It's been good. Now I'm going to call. I won't call out the gym. But Kyrin knows this, and I'll summarize it quickly. I asked this motherfucking gym if I could do Olympic lifting.
I don't know the gym. You told me about it. I don't even know the name of it. So
cool. I'll keep the name out. The name out. EMF. It's EMF, goddammit. So EMF, brand new gym in the city, 4 levels. Top level is where they told me you could do Olympic lifting. I told them, dudes,
I bang the weights.
I bang the weights. I do Olympic lifting every now and again. I'm not pro or whatever, but I visually were looking at it. I was like, this is not reinforced floor. It will make noise. So it's cool. Oh, cool. If there's a problem, we'll reinforce it. I said, fantastic. And it's been giving me shit because just the vibe about it as well, right? It's like it's clinical. It's cold. It feels like I'm at a hospital almost. I go there and the music is shit. At least I've hacked it kind of. I found the panel where the instructors use it for talking and stuff like that, and I can manually lower the volume. And because I'm there at 4:30 in the morning, there's no one there. I'm like, fuck everyone. I'm just turning on the volume completely so I can just hear my podcast that's running in my headphones. Yeah. So I can do that training, but it's so loud and echoey. It's not fun, but the training's been good. I'm in a point now with the Olympic lifting phase where it's tough now to get the numbers that I'm trying to lift at the moment. And because of the environment I'm in, it's hard to just push that extra levels where I'm incrementally going up in weight. So I'm keen to get back to some of the old stomping grounds, but I want to go through enough of this process of just being in a new place and trying out the recovery. So apart from that though, lifting's been really good. I will say the recovery at the moment has been super beneficial. For now, it seems, on joints and stuff like that. And also my running has become not effortless, but definitely less effort than it took beforehand. I ran down in Canberra, hungover at 7 in the morning in 9 degrees. And mentally, I didn't want to do it. And I ended up cranking out a 6.5K run relatively okay. It wasn't that difficult. Walked a couple of times, was drinking coffee, had a headache, got lost the house.
Sat down.
But yeah, well, I was actually, it was actually 6Ks just on the bus. But no. So training's been good with some negatives, but overall, it's heading in a really good direction.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm kind of echoing the same thing in the sense that last year was a year of just grinding of injuries flaring up, of trying to fix some things which I'd kind of neglected / was hoping just resting them would go away, but it's like no, you gotta put in the effort to fix these things. And this, but I was working really hard, and yeah, kind of all the fruits are paying off this year. So I'm back to my kind of the fitness challenge, which is basically just for me now. This is the thing that Juan and I used to do together. And I've got kind of 4 years worth of exercises, and I never really ticked off all of them. The first year was okay. The second year was all rightish. Third, and then last year was just crap, awful. So for this year, I'm like, I'm going to just try and go back and re-tick off things. So I've been hitting PBs recently. I hit a 30-second pike hold, which I was so surprised. I thought that would be a real stretch, long-term goal sort of thing. And just endurance holds. I'm so close to getting a stalder. It's just that far away. Endurance holds. I've hit 3 PBs, and my max handstand is now sitting at 1 minute 56.
Ooh.
And that's right at the end of a workout. So it's not, I'm pretty sure I could break 2 minutes relatively easy.
If I recall back a long time ago when you submitted yourself to the max handstand holds video, you know?
Yeah, it was 1 minute 14. That's what I got then.
Yeah, so you could have gone a whole lot further there. Maybe
Yeah.
not to whatever it was, 15, 16 minutes of the winner or whatever.
No,
it might
absolutely
be,
not.
That's, that's almost doubling it, dude. That's almost doubling the holds.
Yeah. So it's everything's just feeling really good, and where I'm going with Lucas as well, he's very similar level to me in terms of where we're at training wise and what we're focusing on. Like he got a stalder, but it's a really crap one, so he needs to clean it up. I've got almost a really clean one, so we're probably about the same level in that. One arm handstands, he's working on them, feeling good with them. So yeah, it's also going to be really helpful being around someone who's at a very similar level to what I'm doing and who is basically as committed to training as I am. So yeah, that's also going to be very helpful.
Good. Well, there you go.
Very good.
Now we're running a little bit over time here, so we're
super.
going to wrap up there. I'm just going to say, look, if you want to support us, we talk about monthly goals, we talk about a lot of other things, we talk book reviews, we talk interviews, etc. This costs both time and money to put this together. Support us through all the formats that you can, which is sending through some comments. You can send through some monetary benefits by the way of a Boostergram or streaming through Satoshi's on a good podcast player out there. You can send us through some moolah by normal means, by the PayPal. That's in our links as well. But for now, I think that's our monthly wrap up.
I want to hear what other people's goals are as well. What are they working on? What are they looking forward to? I'm sending out the good vibes. I've been saying, since the start of the year, I'm like 2024 year is going to be a good year for everyone. I'm putting out the good vibes for it. So yeah, I want to know if you're feeling those vibes, and if so, what are you working on with those vibes?
There you go. Kyrin's calling you out. Tell us the good vibe, or else. Let's leave it there for now. I'm Immortalized. Thank you for tuning in. If you are live, thank you so very much. If you're listening to us afterwards, reminder, you can always tune in live to these chats. For now, Immortalized, we're going to leave it there. Take care wherever you are in the world. One out.
Going out. Bye.
Peace. Good.